Hey guys, and welcome to Defeating Dad Bod. I am Harrison Mudge, a very nasally Harrison Mudge right now because my health has been suboptimal to say the least. This is the journey of me, as the name suggests, literally trying to defeat my dad bod. Recently had a child at the end of last year and everything just slipped. Although looking in the background, I realise I've got a picture of my dog on there. Probably should change that to a baby picture. Note to self, Harry. This is a journey for me. I'm getting back into the gym. I used to love the gym, was in great shape, as we all were back in our youth at the age of like 21, living the dream. But now married, kid, dog, obviously. But this is me trying to get rid of this cold, trying to get rid of this belly, and just trying to get in the best, I guess, the best shape I can kind of get in with the limited amount of time that I have. I enjoy the gym, so this is an excuse for me to just get back in there and start throwing some weights around, but hopefully it will be a little bit more structured than that. But right now, I just want to document my process of going from being an avid gym goer, going all the time, work gets in the way, life gets in the way, all those excuses that we've all told ourselves, and I'll be the first to admit that it is an excuse, really. And it kind of kills me almost to even like make that excuse because I actually enjoy going to the gym. So I'm using this series as a reason to just kick my ass into gear and get back in that gym. There's other people out there that are probably in the same boat as well, probably got busy lives, busy schedules and things like that. So over the course of this series, not only am I going to share everything that I'm doing, but hopefully I can give you guys some tips, guys and girls, some tips to just try and get back in shape. Sounds like the police are coming. Wait for the siren, Harry, wait for the siren. I want to use this series to share with you what I'm going through, but also hopefully give you guys and girls some tips that I've learned over the years to sort of fight this Michelin man physique that I'm slowly getting if I'm not careful. Episode 1 today, again, apologies for the cold. Ironically, I actually think that I got this cold from going back to the gym for the first time this year. We're in 2020 right now, and I've not been probably since my boy was born last year in October. So yeah, it's time to get back into it. But I went in, did a big session, and I think I just way overdid it because all of a sudden I came down with a cold, and typical sign of overtraining is things like getting ill, aching, hurting, regression in movements and things like that. Well, I've not got any weights to regress to, so I just got a straight up cold. So apologies for the voice, so nasally I know. So let's just dive into the routine. What you're gonna see is my first ever session back this year. So it's my first session. You'll see that it was a compound pull-ups, squats, deadlifts, bench press. I'm trying to get everything, upper body, lower body, pull in, push in, everything under the sun. Maybe that was where I went wrong. I went too big, too soon. So yeah, that was that. Then you'll see my second session where I did more of a supplemental kind of routine. So supplemental work, arms, shoulders, calves, things like that. And then the idea is to go back again on day 3 to the compound moves again. And what I mean by day 3 is the third day. So I'm looking at going 3 times a week at the moment. For example, that could be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Thursday, Sunday, whatever the rotation is. My approach right now is to try and fit in 3 sessions in a week, giving me some flexibility based around work, based around family and everything else that can get in the way. But the main goal is to just hit the gym, get my ass in there, get the weights moving, get that activity up, and hopefully get this belly down. Let's get into it. Started off with 10 minutes on the treadmill, and then when I moved on to the resistance, I started off with some hyperextensions, just using body weight. So that was 12 reps, 3 sets. Then moved on to barbell back squat. Now I just put a 20 kilo plate on each side of that. The bar's 20 kilos as well, so it's about 60 kilos. 12 reps on each of those. Then moved on to pull-ups. Now this was body weight, and I'm fairly heavy right now. So body weight, and I just hit the reps. Upon reviewing the footage, I did 6, 5, and 4 reps, and that was a supinated grip, supinated, however you want to pronounce that, underhand grip. Then we moved on to bench press, and I used dumbbells here, 15 kilos for each one. Again, 3 sets, 12 reps, with a warm up as well, just to make sure those shoulders are nice and limber. Then moved on to deadlifts, and I'm looking at this myself and it's making me chuckle. Again, 3 sets, I did 6 reps each set and 70 kilos that time, so 25 on each side was the bar. And then finally, I moved on to face pulls just to help with some external rotation, rotator cuff, things like that, rear delts, traps, just that external rotation more than anything, just because a lot of pushing and things like that pull my shoulders in, and over the years I've found that my shoulders hurt, so I'm trying to promote that external rotation. And that was it. That was the day 1 session. Next routine was sort of an arms and shoulders supplemental workout. It was nice and fun. The way I'm kind of seeing it is I'm doing some compound moves and then recovery with the lighter movements, just to kind of have a bit of fun at the moment, just gonna move the weights around. So we did, and I did this with my little bro who tried to avoid the camera. We did this in a superset fashion as well, so 2 different movements, back to back, do a set on one, do a set on the next one, and then pause, and then repeat. So you're doing 2 sets of opposing muscle groups, and then you have a rest. You can get more work in less time, and just get a sick pump more than anything else. We did incline dumbbell bicep curls on the bench, and that was supersetted with overhead tricep extensions or French press or similar. People have different terminology for it. We used the easy bar, as you'll see, it's the bar with the curves in. Then we moved on to our next superset, and that was bicep curls standing with dumbbells, alternating curls. And that was supersetted with lying tricep extensions laid out on the bench, as you'll see. Kept the weights fairly just low and manageable because I didn't want to overdo it. Plus, I'm as weak as a kitten at the moment, apparently, so I just need to take it very carefully. You don't want to overdo it. And then finally, our final superset with arms was what I call a preacher curl. So I'm trying to simulate a preacher curl because every time I go in a machine or on the preacher pad, it never seems to work for me. So with the preacher curls that we did this time, you'll see that we're using a cable machine, putting the pulley sort of hip height, maybe a smidge lower or higher depending on how tall you are, and then just stepping back from it and curling. So your angles, the angle in which you are curling the bar is towards your face, and it's simulating the same angle of tension when you get into the peak of the movement. I find that I can actually get a better contraction doing a movement like that. Supersetted that with tricep pushdowns, underhand grip. Then we just moved on to a couple of shoulder movements. We did some dumbbell lateral raises seated. Supersetted that with some rear delt flies. Lean over, chest on your knees, flying out to the sides. Just a nice simple superset. And then we finished again with some cable face pulls. So I like to try and get those cable face pulls in each time just to really get that external rotation and make sure I'm not a hunchback. And that's it. That has been week 1 of defeating Dad Bod. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below if you've got any tips or suggestions or requests on what you'd like to see on this series. But for now, guys, I'm going to leave it there, and I'll speak to you next week. Cheers.